Hey, Danny,
What's up?
before we get started on the podcast, I just want to say that I apologize. I didn't sleep very much. My eyes are a little bloodshot.
Shut up. The podcast just ends. That's
Right.
it. Oh my god.
You just get up and leave.
What's going on, everybody? Critic and the Common Man here, coming at you with another video. Today, up for review, Bloodshot. Vin Diesel. You love to hate him. You love to love him. This was on Netflix. It's still on Netflix by the time you guys watch this. I must have missed something. I didn't even see trailers or anything for this movie. Like the first thing I ever saw of it. It was just on Netflix. Hey man, can we just as a whole, and I don't even mean like just me and you, but just can we as a nation, can we just stop making Vin Diesel movies that aren't Fast and Furious? And maybe just stop making the Fast and Furious movies too.
Yeah, I think 12 of them is enough.
Dude, Vin Diesel. I can't. Okay, did you ever see the videos of Vin Diesel basically like getting all boozed up and like hitting on the reporters and like basically just kind of being a bro?
No.
Oh my god, I like can't
Not
unsee
surprised.
it. Like that's basically just who I assume Vin Diesel is. I assume he's like this kind of drunk, like bro dude that's like lifting weights and plays the same character in every
here's the
movie.
thing though. Does he even lift?
He's got to, man. He definitely juices because there was like he's definitely on roids because there was pictures of him on like a balcony looking real chubby not that long ago, and then he was super buff for this movie.
That's right. I remember those. I remember those photos.
Those were not that long ago, and he was jacked. Listen, everybody in Hollywood is on something. Like, there's no way. There's no The Rock, Vin Diesel, any like jacked. Yeah, exactly. You can afford it. You can afford to do it safely. Any one of those people, I guarantee you, are on some sort of juice. 100%. 100%. But yeah, I hadn't heard anything about Bloodshot. I just saw it on Netflix one day, it seemed like. It was like, oh, what is this? Next thing you know, we're watching it and reviewing it. What'd you think, man? What did you think of Bloodshot? Did you like it?
Aside from Vin Diesel, I actually did. I didn't think it was... I mean, okay, it was entertaining enough for me to finish it. But it kind of fell into that same Gemini Man thing where it was like... It was just an action movie. It's really all it was.
It was, but dude, you're absolutely right. Other than Vin Diesel, I actually thought this movie was pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like I kind of went into it expecting to not like it.
It's kind of like John Wick. Like you wanted him to get his revenge. That's really what it was. It's like you were just like, yeah, fucking kick their ass. Like,
see, the thing is, I don't even know if I was rooting for Vin Diesel. Like, I don't even know what was going on half of that movie. I just thought the special effects and stuff were really cool.
Yeah,
like,
the
I was
slow
like,
motion
really
and
know.
stuff. That was pretty
yeah,
cool.
like, dude, I was like, I don't really know what's going on here, but I kind of like it. Like,
and
I kind of
that
didn't
ending
hate
sequence
it.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking awesome.
And I'm enough.
Oh my god, dude. The cast for this movie overall was pretty solid. Obviously, Vin Diesel being the negative pick, but I feel like Vin Diesel just like rubs off on basically this entire movie. Like, I can't help but picture them like they're like, "Hey man, hey bro, we could get Anne Hathaway to play your character," and he's like showing up to the writers' meeting. He's like drunk. He's like, "Anne Hathaway, bro." He's like, "She gonna take her top off?" And they're like, "Nah, man, she's not gonna do that. She's A-list actor." He's like, "She's not part of the family, bro. I want somebody who's part of the family." And they're like, Vin, like, we need somebody good." He's like, "No, man. No, I want somebody who's willing to take their top off and have a sex scene with me." They're like, "Well, guys, we blew the budget having Vin Diesel here, so let's make this happen." Next thing you know, it's like whoever that woman was casting, and she's like, "I don't like the scars." He's like, "Family, bro. For the family." She's like, "I don't like the scars, but the stories they tell." It was like so cheesy, dude. Oh my god. Then like the level of humor, like I feel like they wrote the humor to Vin Diesel's level. Like there's like randomly throughout the movie, they're like, "All right, like we got some good jokes here. Vin, what do you think?" He's like, "Let's make a joke about his dick size." And they're like, "Vin, like these are really expensive writers,
right.
man. They've been working on this." They're like, "No, make a joke about having a 6-inch wiener."
6 inches in enough. Yeah, that
writer's
pulled
like-
me out of it too. Like,
Right, dude.
if you're gonna put in humor in an action movie, it's got to like fit. And that really, like, that kind of just like I think I was like typing something or whatever, and then I just kind of looked at the other screen. I was like, what? Like, why
Yeah,
would you
you're like,
even
what?
put that in? That,
Right, that
there's no
character's like,
reason
guys,
for
that-
that to be in there.
That
Other than to,
character's like,
be
guys, I don't
broy.
know about. Right. He's like, I don't know about this line, guys. Vin's like, oh. What kind of car did you drive here in, dude? He's like, Camry. He's like, I drove here in a Hayabusa 650, 730 Paul Walker, bro.
Is that a car?
Tell the 6-inch joke. You're like, oh, man, Vin.
Is that a car?
This is... no, absolutely not. That was like a conglomeration of names of things that none of which were a car. The Hayabusa is a motorcycle. None of those other things were a car.
Well, you even know that. If you would have been like, yeah, that's a car from Japan. It's it's
like,
rare.
yeah,
I'd have been
sure,
like,
dude.
yeah, wow, Hayabusa. Okay.
I would say of every actor out there in Hollywood, Vin Diesel has probably the smallest range of like emotion in these movies.
I thought you were gonna say
like,
the
I
smallest
did not
penis.
buy. I have it on good authority that Vin Diesel has the smallest wiener in Hollywood.
I was like, I'm gonna have to ask you
You're
off
like,
of
what?
the podcast how you know this.
What are your sources, man? No, dude. Like, look, Vin Diesel cut his teeth in those Fast and Furious movies, and that's fine. And the Triple X movies and all that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not buy like a single line he said in this movie. It's just, you know what this movie needed? Do you know what Bloodshot needed? It needed everything that it had, but it needed Jason Statham. If you had replaced Vin Diesel with Jason Statham, this movie would have been fucking awesome.
See, the thing is,
Like,
I feel
dude.
like this movie was already made with him, and I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it was like the guy who had like the adrenaline shit in him. And
Yeah, that's like the Triple X dude.
Is that what that's from?
I'm pretty sure isn't that movie called Triple X?
No. There was one where it was like Jason Statham was like the star.
Oh, the Jason Statham movie.
Yeah, he was the star, and he had this like drug
yeah.
injected into him that like gave him like super strength and stuff, or like just heightened senses.
What was the one? Was it like Friction or something? The one where he had to like charge his body up with
That's what I'm talking
electricity
about.
every time.
That's what I'm talking about.
What was that? I don't know what that movie was called. The
don't
movie's
remember.
called right here.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
I only remember seeing the end because the rest of the movie was forgettable.
The only the reason I even remember that movie is because in the trailer I remember he like needed energy, so he had to get like static electricity by grinding on an old woman, and I was like, oh man, like that is burned into my brain. That's the only part of that movie I actually remember is him like rubbing on an old lady to try and generate static electricity really quick.
Let me tell you, I've seen
yeah,
that part
it's-
so many times, if you know what I mean.
I have that on replay. This movie, everything other than Vin Diesel was pretty fucking cool.
You know who was the coolest part of that entire movie?
Okay,
Tibbs.
I have one. Wait, what? What were you
Tibbs?
gonna say?
Not Tibbs. Tibbs.
Was Tibbs the stereotypical like black techie dude?
No. Yeah, the guy in the chair. No.
The stereotypical British black.
Oh, I did
hacker.
really
That's-
like him. I
Yeah,
forgot
of course.
what his name
That's,
was.
that was Wilfred Wiggins.
Wiggins. Yeah, Wiggins. He was dope. I loved him. He was funny as shit.
Yeah.
But no, Tibbs was the blind soldier.
Oh, who could like see through the chest?
That
or
was
whatever,
pretty
like, the
cool. I liked
cameras
his
on
character.
chest. It was pretty cool, but I couldn't help but think if you had the technology to just overhaul your entire body and repair it with these nanobots,
Why not just give him new eyes?
Why not just give them all nanobots? Like,
No, Tibbs,
the
you
guy's
don't
like, hey
deserve
man,
it."
like, right? This chick's like, dude, I got a fucking hole in my chest that you can just close with a button. Like,
That's
Can you
true.
just give me the nanobots? He's like, no. You get the hole
I
in
didn't
your chest.
get that. Yeah, I didn't. I never made that connection. Well, I guess the idea is that he was the first one. They said that he was the prototype, the first one where the nanobites didn't kill them.
Right.
So, but still, you're right. Like, you can create nanobites that fix the entire human body, like reproduce
Right,
cell
but
by
you got
cell.
this dude who's like blind and has to rely on this camera. He's
You can't
hey,
fix
man,
his glaucoma.
My lenses are getting pretty foggy out there. Like I can't see shit. You want to just like put some of those nanobots in my eyes? They're like, Vin, what do you
Can
think?
you
He's
imagine?
like, family, bro.
Like the exhaust.
camera stays.
The exhaust from like his like tech on like a humid day just creates like, oh, fuck.
He's like, hey man, like there was a bunch of flour on the ground in this tunnel and I couldn't see shit because
Yeah.
it was in my camera. Like, you think we could just replace me with some nanobots? They're like, nah, man.
Fuck,
We'll
I just
add some
I just
cameras."
sneezed on myself.
Crack the lens, man.
Yeah.
This movie seemed like about a combination of about 1 million different movies that we've already seen. It was like the old guard. It was like somehow it was kind of like Gemini Man. It was kind of like the Triple X movie we were talking about. It was kind of like Fast and Furious. Like, I felt like there was at least 3 or 4 movies, like big name movies that you could list that Bloodshot was essentially just a combination of.
Yeah. Now, I know it's based off a comic book. I have no idea who it's by, or, you know, if it's a Vin Diesel looking character. I think that what Vin Diesel had that he doesn't have anymore, in the early 2000s, when you were getting movies like Fast and Furious and Triple X and all of those movies that he came out in, I feel like there was a little more, I guess, forgiveness for that type of character. Like that, the early 2000s just was that action type of like genre fitting era, I guess, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
All of those
we didn't
movies
have
were
a
just
Vin Diesel yet.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know what I mean?
we
Like,
had
there
like the
was-
Fast and Furious. Yeah, I guess you're right, because like he was this
Like, when
new
Vin Diesel
character.
came out, he was Vin Diesel. Like,
Yeah.
he's the guy to come in with, like, his voice, by the way, has gotten like 3 pitches deeper, by
Yeah,
the way.
you
He's
should
like
probably get that
habitual
looked at.
smoker now. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, something's wrong with your throat, dude.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. I mean, there was definitely more forgiveness for him in like the first Fast and the Furious movies, but he also wasn't so Vin Diesel. You know what I mean? It's like he almost has developed into the Vin Diesel that now we know of.
Have you seen that Batman spoof where like Batman and the Joker are having a conversation? Like it's like the when Batman like locks the door in the Dark Knight, you know what I mean? And he's like There's this spoof where like he's not even saying words, he's just kind of growling at the Joker, and he's just like, "Whoa!"
I have seen that.
Yeah,
I
and
have
he's just
seen
like,
that.
You might want to get that looked at. I can't. I really like to help you, but I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, forget Robert Pattinson, man. Vin Diesel needs to be the next Batman.
Yep.
Just, where's Rachel?
Swear to me.
No, I didn't hate this though. I mean, the thing is, Vin Diesel for like the whole middle part is actually not even really in this for a good part of it.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of gets weird. Like, you start seeing like the hackers do their thing, and Vin Diesel's sort of just asleep in this tank while they try to pull the story along. There's a fair bit of this movie that he wasn't even really in. Like, he doesn't do all that much in this movie.
Yeah, and I really did enjoy the story for the most part. Of course, as an action movie, there are some things that are a little over the top. Tibbs's helmet when he's riding that motorcycle was fucking dope. That thing was
sick.
awesome.
It reminded me of a video game like Destiny or something. I'm
Exactly.
trying to remember.
Yeah.
It definitely reminded me of like a Destiny kind of look.
Yeah.
The special effects in this were insane.
Yep. That
all
is
of the
easily
effects,
what
like-
this movie had going for it.
Yeah, and like, dude, the scene where they're like fighting in the tunnel, and the guy's in the car, right? And Vin Diesel's coming up to the car, and he blasts his ear off, and like the sound's all distorted.
Oh yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like,
As it's, like,
like
reforming.
fades back in. I was like, I was watching. I was kind of like, dude, this is sick.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a sweet action movie, man. But Vin Diesel's just got such little range, like such little emotional range, that every time he's in it, you're like, oh,
I think
man.
maybe that's really what it is ultimately. That what I was trying to say earlier is that we've just seen him do this before.
Oh, we have.
And
We
so
absolutely have.
like it becomes a trope, you know.
It almost feels like a spoof.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing like the same thing, and
Yeah.
every line is like is getting cringy.
But like you couldn't
you know,
have
all the
you couldn't have picked any other actor with like an actual range of acting to play a soldier.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't need to be Vin Diesel. And if you wanted a big name for a role like this, dude, Jason Statham would have made this movie so much better. I think if you would put Jason
with
Statham in
with
this,
the
I would have
British.
been good.
But then I mean, it's still like an action trope, you know. Like you only see him in things like The Expendables, and you know, so like it would have just been nice to see an actor that wasn't one of them, like one of the big white bald guys.
I can tell you that I didn't even really know about this movie, like I said, coming into this. And if it'd been an actor that wasn't somebody like a bigger name, I don't know that. Well, I mean, again, I would have just seen it on Netflix. And then I'm telling you, sometimes those movies on Netflix that don't have the big names in them, they end up doing way better than movies like this. I don't know. That's a good point. Okay, so if not a big name actor, so if not Vin Diesel, not Jason Statham, do you think that you would have enjoyed this movie more?
I think I would have taken it more seriously. I don't know if I would have enjoyed it more. I
feel like I definitely would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel pulled me out of it, dude, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Especially
You're
at
right.
the beginning.
He's like such a.
I don't know, for
It's
whatever
so
reason,
overdone.
I can't. I didn't believe that. I don't know. Like. It's weird because when you see his wife dying at the beginning, I believed that he loved her, like that, like the pleading and when he was tied to the chair and stuff. I was like, holy shit, this is terrible. But then when he's like recalling the memories over and over and over again later, I started to believe it less and less. And I don't know if that's on his acting or because we've already seen this moment, for the second or third time at this point, where he's like breaking the. By the way, how did they fix that table? They just bring in a new table every time they resurrect
Yeah,
him or
I don't
whatever?
know. I have no idea.
So I don't know. I guess it just kind of pulled me out of it, the emotional range out of it. I will admit that later when they get to the end of the movie and we see that his wife isn't actually dead, spoilers, that totally got me. I thought, I was not expecting that at all. I thought that was a cool twist.
That was an interesting twist, but again, it's like then the whole motivation is just gone. And he goes over there to talk to who he thinks is like his wife, who he's like killing people over. And, again, it's not the best actress or actor, Vin Diesel, or this woman who was playing his wife. Not really the best actor or actresses there. And they're like, he's like, I'm home now. And she's like, home? He's like, yeah, I'm home. She's like, we got divorced 5 years ago.
Fuck
I was
you.
like, I was like, oh, this is really bad.
Yeah.
But everything other than Vin Diesel and the interaction with the woman who he clearly self-cast so that he could get somebody topless, everything other than that
Was
interaction.
she topless in this movie?
I mean, kind of. When they're like having sex, right? When he comes
I don't
home
remember
from
a
the
sex
military.
scene. Did I block that out because it was Vin Diesel?
It wasn't really a sex scene, honestly. I guess I was just focusing on it because I thought that like this is totally why Vin Diesel cast this chick, or why this chick was cast. But I feel like Vin Diesel's the guy. No, there was like it wasn't even really like a sex scene. It was like a side boob scene where basically she's like on top of him, like topless or whatever.
Okay.
And they're hanging out. So
Tasteful
I
side
feel
boob.
like Vin Diesel is the guy who, just to do appearances, the list of things that like he needs in his room is ridiculous. Like I feel like he's that guy to show up and be like, yeah, I need like a 12-pack of beer. I need like all the Skittles, but only the red ones.
I asked for the
I need
red
breast
ones.
milk from yeah. I need a breast milk from my yak so I can stay jacked the whole time I'm here. It's like, oh, Vin, we can't afford that, man. Let's talk about the rest of the cast. Isa Gonzalez, and then supporting roles, Lamorne Morris, who, I don't know if you've ever watched the show New Girl. Have you ever heard of that show?
I have.
With,
I've seen a few
Zooey
episodes.
Deschanel.
I was forced to watch a few episodes.
Whatever, man. My wife likes that show, and honestly, I do not hate it.
No,
it's not that bad of
you
a
know what
show.
it is for me is I'm just not a sitcom kind of person. But
Yeah, I'm not really either.
But I mean, I didn't hate it. It was funny. It's just I didn't feel like investing my time into however many seasons that show had.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's a lot. He's in that, and I don't think that he has a British accent. Like, I don't think he's British.
So who are we talking about?
Lamorne Morris?
But
So
who is
basically
he in the movie?
Wiggins.
Oh,
So
does he
he's
not? Because that
British.
British accent sounded phenomenal.
He's not a New Girl. I don't know. I haven't really done.
Oh,
a lot
is
of
he
research
is he
on him,
the
but
the roommate?
yeah, he's one of the
No
roommates. in New
freaking
Girl.
way, man.
Winston. Yeah, he's Winston in New Girl.
He's
and he
the bro,
definitely does
right?
not
Like
have
the
a
bro
British
one?
accent in that. Yeah.
I think they all are kind of bros in that show.
Well, there's like, all right, not to get too far into New Girl, but there's him, and then there's like Coach, I think he's called, and Coach is kind of the bro. But then Winston's kind of just like the unassuming guy. But whatever.
So
Anyway,
what would you give
he
New
was-
Girl on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, like after watching the first season.
This whole thing just turns into a 45-minute New Girl review. Which actually we could do because I'm very opinionated on that show. But anyway,
The thumbnail changes.
no, he was funny to see in this. But dude, I don't know if it's just from like Ocean's 11 or whatever it is, but I feel like the black British like techie kind of dude has now become its own stereotype.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like that is not the first time we've seen that kind of character before. Like now it's like the witty black dude who plays like the super good hacker / like bomb technician guy. Like that has become a definite stereotype in movies.
And I love that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a hacker. But
What are you pointing to? I'm not a hacker.
They're
I'm like,
the walls have ears. No, so I don't know, but like for me, like at the end of that movie, whenever like when they were like trying to like take over each other's systems, like what are you doing smashing the keyboard? Like it's a command system. Like you type a command, you're not like typing against the other person. Like, oh, you think you can beat me? Fucking, I can hit the space bar more times than you.
I think of that meme of like Kermit the Frog just like slapping the keyboard and whipping around.
I don't know. Maybe that is how
yeah,
it works, but like to me,
I wonder if as more and more people are like studying computer science and getting into computers and whatnot, if like Hollywood's gonna have to change their portrayal of what like hacking and stuff is in movies, because people are gonna understand like this is complete bullshit more often. Like when you just see code running down a screen and they're just like, that's not how hacking goes. I don't.
This is the Pentagon. I don't know if it's gonna be super difficult to get in. I'm in.
I had a buddy who used to work a computer job for a long time. He was like an IT guy, and he would every time somebody would have a problem, like he'd work with a bunch of older people, and like their keyboard would come unplugged, and they'd call him and be like, my computer's broken, and he'd go there and he'd like hear their keyboard be unplugged. He'd like make stuff up. He'd be like typing really fast. He's like, all right, I'm gonna have to bring you in through the mainframe. We're gonna have to go through. He's like, cover your face. We have to go through the Pentagon system. They're like, what? He's like, say hello to the president. Say hello. They're like, hello, Mr. President. Then he plugged their laptop back, or their keyboard back in. He's like, all right, you're good.
They're
like, oh
genius.
My God.
That man deserves an award.
Yeah, seriously.
That's somebody who took their job and made it better.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. No, I wasn't, to go back to this, I wasn't upset with the cast, other than Vin Diesel and the cheesy woman they had playing his wife. I wasn't upset with the casting of this. Everybody fit their roles pretty well. I mean, again, this isn't exactly full of A-listers. And is Vin Diesel considered an A-list celebrity? Can we really put Vin Diesel in the same bin as like a Matthew McConaughey or like a Leonardo DiCaprio? I don't think so.
When you
dude.
say that, yeah, no. I mean,
I think he would be a B-list
name
celebrity.
one movie that Vin Diesel has been in that actually had like an emotional range to it. The Pacifier.
Nah, I can't do it. Even in The Pacifier, he's pretty rough around the edges. But I actually like The Pacifier.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters, believe it or not.
You saw that in theaters?
Back in the day, yeah.
Dude, we actually watched that not that long ago. I convinced my wife to watch The Pacifier, and it was like a matter of months
now,
ago.
I feel like
Definitely
they've redone The Pacifier. They did it with Jackie Chan.
Well, they did that My Spy movie that just came out with Batista.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, so they did it with Jackie Chan,
yeah.
and they did it with Bautista now. So it's like,
wait, what was Jackie Chan's?
My Neighbor the Spy or something like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot that movie even existed.
Yeah,
I never saw it.
Dude, by the way, I just saw Jackie Chan in like I don't even know what the hell the movie was called anymore. But like, dude, I forgot how jacked he used to be when he was in his 20s and 30s.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Jack.
Also,
Jackie.
really fun. I don't know if you knew this. Did you know that Jackie Chan's a trained opera singer?
What?
Yeah. So like when we're done here, I'll have to send you a video. But back probably like 20 years ago, he was part of like this like TV show for China. I believe he speaks Mandarin. I think that's his native language is Mandarin. It's either that or Cantonese, but I can't remember. But he
is he singing in Italian?
No. It's so he was trained as I guess opera is the wrong word, but classically trained singer.
Oh, okay.
So in this show, he basically sings the lead or the title song. And dude, his voice is phenomenal. So I'm gonna have to send that to you. Just yeah, like when you hear him sing, your voice is gonna drop. You're gonna be like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Because we hear him sing in Rush Hour, but.
Yeah, that's true. No, listen, I don't think that Vin Diesel... I think Vin Diesel may be an A-list celebrity only in, like, the largest definition of the word being, like, oh, he's been in this number of, like, movies that have grossed this amount.
Can you
or whatever.
shift from one list to another? Like, can you be an A-list for, like, 10 years and then be a B-list? I feel like you could, right?
I think so.
Then he's probably somewhere in between.
Me and you do this podcast, okay? We have 17 subscribers. I would say that puts us somewhere on the low A to B list range of celebrity.
Yeah.
My life has changed dramatically. I can't even go to the store anymore without people being like, critic in the comment, man. Critic in the comment. And it turns out, like you were saying, man, like half of our followers on Instagram are from India, which is phenomenal. So I think a trip is in order.
Dude, when people come to my door to leave packages and stuff, I have to.
It's scary, dude. I know it's scary. Like you feel like you're not.
I have
safe.
one of those like trash
I worry
pickers.
about my family.
I have one of those trash pickers, and I give them a tip through the door with like I crack it open.
Right. I've had to hire security, man. It's been weird, but those things come with celebrity. You know, they always say life was more money, more problems. Yeah. But no, I don't know. I mean, Vin Diesel has such little emotional range in this movie that I just couldn't really get into his character.
Yeah, I agree.
But which was a shame because he's kind of a superhero.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of a superhero franchise
like
they've set up a little bit here. Like when he was at the end. Okay, dude. When at the end, when the guy was shooting that grenade launcher at him, and like the nanobots were like reaching
sick,
out
dude.
and grabbing it. I was like, dude, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And again, I had no expectations of this movie being very good going into it. And sure enough, I liked it. I'm not, even with Vin Diesel being Vin Diesel, I absolutely liked this movie.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to text you and be like, dude, like that's why I asked you when I texted you. I was like, did you finish Bloodshot yet? Because I was like,
right, like I didn't
know if it was the adrenaline or whatever. But I was like, I can't believe I like this movie. Like, did you finish it?
Damn, that was kind of cool, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this movie was one thing. Okay. If it had taken Vin Diesel out and replaced it with a Jason Statham, it would have been a completely different thing. And I think it would have been so much better. But I'm kind of like, dude, I'm expecting Bloodshot to show up in like the next Avengers movie. Like they're going to be like fighting Thanos or something like that. And all of a sudden, like somebody's going to pull up in a Camaro. It's going to be Bloodshot pulling out like with his arms out. He's like, family, bro. For family, dude. I don't know if you've ever done I almost said the Vin Diesel ride, the Fast and Furious ride at Universal Studios.
No, that came out when I was already here.
It's horrible, first of all, but literally it's him like, the Fast and Furious movies have gone from them racing cars to them like blowing up nukes in space to keep the world from being destroyed. Like it's gone so far. And I feel like Vin Diesel just kind of takes that with him like pretty much everywhere. Like I feel like he takes that Toretto vibe with him pretty much everywhere he goes. In fact, I feel like Isa Gonzalez was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. I don't even know if that's true, but I feel like she was in it. I have no idea. But I don't know. I think it's because everything other than Vin Diesel in this movie, like everything he surrounded himself with in this movie was really impressive. The like special effects were super impressive. The storyline and the plot was not bad. I mean, it got a little bit kind of weird at the end with him like going back and they're like just kind of stringing him along kind of thing, and with his wife not really being dead or whatever it was. Yeah. That got a little weird.
But like ultimately, like the story is compelling enough. It's somebody who's trying to get revenge. I mean, it's 100%. A revenge movie is what it is. I think it would have made the movie better if he didn't get revenge right away. I feel like he got what he got what he wanted too quickly. Although, albeit we did find out later that it wasn't actually the person that killed her. Like that never happened. So it really wasn't revenge.
Right. They just fabricated that whole thing.
Yeah, but still, I feel like he should have gotten his ass kicked or something, and then we would have felt more for his character. But he felt pretty much unstoppable, and I think that kind of made it so that the movie just had less impact.
They should have done more with it, yeah, because they should have done more with the like him overheating. Like I kept waiting for that to become more of a thing, and it really wasn't until that very last scene at the end. They're like, you know, your nanobots, like it takes more energy, like because he's like, what's this glow in my chest? He looked awesome.
Oh yeah,
he looked really cool.
He was all gray.
But he's
and
like,
shit.
what's this? Yeah, and like glowing red, and like he looked dead. And he's like, what's this glow in my chest? Like heat, like the nanobots produce heat. I thought there should be more of like him like beating so many people's ass that like he becomes so like red hot that he like grabs something and like melts through it, or like pushes his hand through a door to like melt through. Like I don't know, there was things they could have done with that story. I hope they make a sequel. I mean, it's too late. We're in it with Vin Diesel now, but whatever. I hope they make a Vin Diesel sequel to this. I'll watch it. 100% I'll watch it.
Yeah, it would have. I agree. I think if I don't know, I think that we as an audience prefer our characters because of their flaws rather than the things that they do right. And this movie was very much about like how much ass can we get Vin Diesel to kick. and not
Oh, it was a
not enough
classic action
of
movie.
him losing. Like he's up against like biogenetically engineered like Navy SEALs and SWAT members and you know like special forces units, and he kicked their asses. Like I don't know.
He
I
can't
just
die.
Yeah.
They're like shooting holes in him, and he's just regrowing.
I mean, I get that, but like still, it would have been cool. Like if maybe he's using his nanobots too much, and so because he's kicking so much ass, it's draining his energy. So he actually starts to lose because of that. That would have been awesome. Like his strength is his flaw.
Yeah. They should have, you know what they should have done? They should have, like, to kill him, they should have opened up some sort of vortex, like, portal in the sky and, like, fought him, and, like, more of his nanobots would have been sucked into that portal until eventually, like, he's basically just on stilts. And then they could have, like, grabbed the mask he was using to control all of that and crush it. And then Baymax could have just flown through the big portal, and then it would have been set, dude. It would have been fine. The microbots.
That would have been really sad.
Oh my god, dude.
And then like Vin Diesel's hand
fist.
is the last thing that we see.
It's just Vin Diesel's hand, but inside of it is just like a little like message. It's like the keys to a car. It's the, like inside his hand is the keys to like a 1940s
And as you
Camaro.
pry
You're
it
like,
open, he just
it's just the keys to an old Ricer that like he souped up. Oh my god.
with the neon.
Wow, this review is going all over the
Yeah.
place today, dude. This is good.
So-
that's why I feel like it should have been somebody like Jason Statham, because it was nonstop ass kicking, and that's what his movies are. That's what all the, like, you look at like, what is it, The Transporter and all that stuff. Like that's what those movies are.
Is what
Man.
it
It's
is,
just
yeah.
him. It's him kicking ass
In a
And
suit
That's
and
okay.
looking
It's
fantastic.
in a suit. It's him looking cool and kicking ass, and he does it well. I still think he would have been better as this role.
100%.
But I guess
I agree.
I don't know. It was cool to see all of the different characters. You mentioned the guy who had the cameras, and then of course there was the guy with like the robo feet,
Yeah.
and the chick who could breathe under, or I guess could she breathe underwater?
No,
Or could she
I
just
think
hold her breath a long
I
time?
think yeah, exactly. She could just hold her breath.
She could just like breathe in toxins. Basically,
Yeah.
was her power. Like she couldn't be poisoned.
Yeah, they
through,
mentioned
like,
very like
particulates
the
in
moment
air.
that you're introduced to her. You know, you see the thing, and they said that she was impervious to aerosols. So like
Right,
basically,
and
you
that's
could
why that's
Febreze
how
the
she,
shit
like-
out of a room, and she would be the only person not coughing.
She'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be good.
What
Wouldn't
smell?
even matter. She's allergic to nothing. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like they did everything right. They did everything right with this movie. I think the only flaw with this was that they cast Vin Diesel.
100%,
And if
yeah.
you love Vin Diesel, if you're a big Vin Diesel fan, then you're probably gonna love this one. I kind of loved it, and I'm not a big Vin Diesel fan.
Yeah.
Um,
Like if
but
they had
everything
just
other than that,
cast
they did
anybody
right.
else,
Yep.
it makes you wonder how good this movie could have been. Yeah.
100%. Okay, if other than Jason Statham, name one other like famous person who you think would have been cool to see in that role.
You know, I'm a big foreign film fan, and it would have been really cool to see Donnie Yen.
That would have been dope.
Like to make this
Yeah, that
into
would've
kind
been
of like
dope.
a
Add, like,
kung
a-
fu futuristic movie.
Uh-huh.
I mean, first of all, Donnie Yen is an incredible actor.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I would love to see him. I mean, I'm assuming you've seen Ip Man, but he does some amazing job delivering like just that family man feeling. And you know, we've seen
Yeah.
him in Rogue One and stuff. I think
True.
he would have done a better job at making us feel for the fact that he's lost his wife, and
Right.
then gone on a revenge ass kicking spree. And I feel like he would have done a great job. But
Yeah, he would have been good. He would have been good.
that's one. I mean,
Who was the guy, dude? Who
Chris
was the guy who
Pratt.
played Riker in Altered Carbon?
oh,
No, man, not Chris Pratt. This is not a role for Chris Pratt, man. Chris Pratt is not Jason Statham, dude. I'm telling you, there's a select few ass kicking people who could pull this off, and I'm telling you, like, who was the dude who played Riker in Altered Carbon? Do you remember his name?
Riker's the one that was in both, right?
Riker was in both, but it was his sleeve. Basically, it was Takashi Kovacs in all of season 1. So his sleeve.
Okay. I
Takashi
keep getting
Kovacs.
him and the guy who his nemesis mixed up. I forgot what his name is.
His nemesis, not Harlan. Oh my God, dude, don't even do this because in our freaking Altered Carbon review, I couldn't remember his name either. I don't
Like
know.
like the
But yeah,
one
anyway,
who trained him. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Jaeger.
Jaeger and
The guy,
Riker.
dude, the guy who played Riker would have been awesome.
Yes,
because he's like real tough.
Yeah,
and he
okay.
looks
So
fucking awesome.
the first Takeshi, the white
the
guy
first
with the
Takeshi.
hair,
Exactly,
like that
exactly.
beautiful motherfucker. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That is not fair,
Specimen.
man. Like, yeah, he's jacked,
Yeah,
super good looking, and he can like he's an act. That's
yeah.
oh man, I know.
Yep.
And here we are with the podcast. But what can we do? What can we do? He would have been cool.
We have the founding fathers.
That's true. We are the founding fathers' favorite podcast. That is very true. Yeah, I don't know. This one did everything else right though. The special effects were insane. Like all the CGI and then like the computer boards
I can't
and the
not
interfaces.
see him as the role now. Like I think he would have been a perfect cast for this.
Dude, he would have been cool. He would have been really cool. But yeah, I don't know. This had. I'm not even gonna say it had potential because the only potential that like unmet potential was the fact that they picked a bad character to play Vin Diesel's character.
Yeah.
In this. So I don't know. His name was Ray in this. I'm always forgetting the main characters' names. But other than that, I think they pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
You know, again, not exactly a lot of A-list actors and actresses in this, but people that fit the roles fairly well.
Yes.
I didn't think anybody else was super out of place other than maybe his wife, just because I thought she was a little unconvincing. But everybody else seemed to fit their roles no problem.
Yeah, I agree. I think the movie did a lot of things right. It was an action movie, so there was a lot of, cliche kind of things. The humor was a little weird at times, I should say. But the graphics were freaking awesome.
Yeah, they were. They absolutely were. And we get a lot of action movies nowadays that try to do something with the plot and kind of fail. Look at Gemini Man. Look at The Old Guard. These are two that just recently we've reviewed, and they've just fallen flat, I got to say, as far as the plot goes, they actually created a pretty cool, like, superhero in this story. Like, I'm on board now with Bloodshot.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's like a cool, I guess you could call him a hero, right?
Yeah, what I'm wondering is, where do they get more nanobots, nanites, Nantucket?
Nanites, nanobots, tomato.
Yeah.
I think they're the same kind.
But, like, he lost them all at the end of that last scene, so where the hell did they get more?
I guess they just built more. I don't know. They probably are pumping those things out.
Fucking Wiggins, man. He's good. He is that good.
He's just, I don't know. He just generates more of them in his sack, like, as he's living, and they just kind of regenerate his body.
Yep.
I have no idea. We're going to have to ask Vin Diesel, get Vinny on here and see.
But
family, bro. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. So, take a guess. How do you think this one did on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, geez. As a critic, I'm going to say somewhere between... I'm going to say probably a 6. And as like an audience, probably a 7. Maybe an 8.
You're talking about 70 and 80, or are you talking literally 6%?
No.
Like, I'm talking Rotten Tomatoes score.
Okay, the Rotten Tomatoes, I would probably say that they're somewhere in like the 60% range, and audience score is probably in the 70s.
Yeah, you're pretty close on audience, dude. The critics wrecked this one, and I understand why. I think that's what happens with Vin Diesel. Dude, this thing got a 30% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, but it got a 78% audience score.
Okay.
That's, I mean, I'm okay with that. Listen, so in our last Instagram post, if you guys are listening or watching this, in our last Instagram post, we kind of give you a preview, and we're going to keep doing this. We put out a preview of basically all the movies that we're watching, and then we ask you guys to comment.
I saw
put a
the
question
comment.
or comment down below. And we got a comment, our featured comment, so we'll post it in here. But our featured comment for today, I thought was perfect because it pretty much summed up exactly what I felt like. So this is from the Mikey Pancakes, a good friend of mine, Michael.
Shout out.
And he said, Bloodshot, the movie nobody wanted, but the movie we all needed.
Absolutely.
Dude,
the movie
spot
nobody
on.
wanted.
Yeah.
I love that.
The movie that we did not even know we needed. The movie that we didn't even know we needed. But I ended up watching this thing, and afterwards, I was sitting there thinking I was going to hate it. Dude, I'm ready for a sequel. I'm ready for Bloodshot 2. So big props to the Bloodshot.
I mean, that's got to be
people,
good directing, if nothing else. Like that's
dude,
crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely. So what do you think of this one, man? Overall, like, what would you kind of What would you rank and what would you give Bloodshot?
So the cinematography for me was a little over the top. And this is like, I was reviewing this as like a viewer. Like this is me reviewing it like as a critic.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed the movie, but that's because I have the capability of just turning my brain off and just like, fuck it. You know, it's because I enjoy things like Disney movies and, you know, I had a little sister growing up, but now I don't. No, I have a little sister. And so growing up, I was, you know, I had to watch things like the Backyardigans and shit. You know, it's like I got used to like just watching things even if I didn't want to. And so for me, the cinematography at the very beginning of the movie was like, it was so orangey yellow. And I get that they were trying to create like this like dream-like feeling, but like tone down the colors, man. Like that, there was no reason to take a bath in yellow, you know, like the entire freaking, it's whatever. So that was a little weird to me. The graphics were phenomenal. The slow motion scenes, I hate slow motion in movies, by the way, but this they did it right. Ever since The Matrix, man, it's over the top. But this movie did it right, and they did it well. And there was, you know, I don't know, it was just overall it was fun. It was an action-packed movie. The story was compelling. The characters were compelling enough. That they, you know, we wanted to find out more, and the twist was, I would not have expected that, you know. It was just cool, and then they gave us a nice little wrapped up ending with a bow and everything, and yeah, I mean, I think it was cool. I would probably watch another one, and there's not really much to say about a movie like this, you know. It's an action movie. I would give it a 7. Like I think it's a 7. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty much somewhere with you there. I didn't notice that about the colors. Like, I don't really like. I'm not really paying attention to stuff like that. I didn't notice like the strange thing about the colors. That's interesting too that you have a problem with slow motion. It's never really bothered me. I know it's over the top in The Matrix, but I kind of thought that was the point.
No, like, but The Matrix was the first one to do it.
Yeah.
So The Matrix, I love it because they did it. You know, they did the slow motion camera thing, the bullet time. And then once that became the thing, it was kind of expected in action movies. And action movies just do it over the top. Like, and sometimes it's like for pointless reasons. Like and then we're going to zoom out and we're going to go through and around the bullet and we're going to slow motion watch the bullet go through the person, and then we're going to speed up and
slow motion 360 explosion. Yeah, fair enough. You know, it's weird. I even said this earlier in the podcast, but this movie felt so familiar in many ways. Like, it felt like it was just kind of a combination of multiple other movies that we'd seen, and yet somehow it felt fresh. Mm-hmm. Like, somehow the fighting, even though we've seen a lot of action movies lately, and
the action was
the idea that he
well
couldn't
done.
die,
the fighting and everything was
it was done. The fight choreography and everything was fun to watch. It was really exciting, entertaining, and then they took the concept of the nanobots, nanites, whatever, and they freshened it up by doing things like having him reach out and catch the grenade at the end, or, you know, like when his ear gets blown off.
That was sick.
His hearing's distorted while it's like healing up. Like, they kept it fresh, even though we see a lot of stuff in this movie that was kind of pulled from other films. I give this movie a 7.5. But I if this movie would have had a Jason Statham in it, or a Riker, or, you know, somebody else, who did you say you wanted?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, yeah. If it had had,
I feel like he would have been a little out of place, but yeah.
Maybe if this movie had any of those characters in it, or even just somebody who really fit the role who we didn't even know about, this movie would be an 8.5 for me, which is fairly high if you look back at our scores on our website. Like, if you look at what we rank movies, we're not very often like in that 8.5 and over range. Somehow it stayed fresh, even though I felt like we'd seen this movie in different ways before. Mikey Pancakes nailed it, man. It was the movie that we didn't want, nobody wanted, but the movie that we needed. I really liked it. It was fun to watch on Netflix. Everything surrounding Vin Diesel was exactly what it needed to be. I hope they make a sequel, so this one gets a 7.5.
Do you know what my favorite part was?
What?
Humor-wise, I guess, for me. Besides Wiggins, because Wiggins was awesome, especially at the end when he's like really into the sunset. But
that was a little like breaking the fourth wall. Right there was a little.
Yeah, but you know what? That's how you get away with some shit like that. You have to call yourself out. So I kind of appreciate that. But when he's being chased by the two soldiers, and the guy is like running through the streets, and the other one is like tracking
Right.
him with the drones and stuff. And he's like, he's heading south on like second or whatever. And then the soldier's just like, south, dude, left or right? Like,
Yeah, it's like south, shit, left or right, dude. That's so funny because that's everybody who's ever been in like driving in a car, like on a
Yeah,
long road
Siri.
trip, and it's like, you're like, you're like, it says turn south on this road. You're like, all right, man, I'm gonna need a left
Yeah,
or right.
head
Like it
south
is
on
nighttime. I have
Third.
no idea what direction. Yeah. I thought you
I
said
thought you
west.
said- what if we take Vin Diesel and push him somewhere else?
I love it, dude. Vin Diesel's Baymax hand just comes out, flicks you off, and then just releases the keys to like a 1960s Toyota with like purple neon underneath it. Oh my god, I love it, man. You got anything else for this one?
No, that was it was a
That's
fun
it.
movie.
Bloodshot.
I did
dude.
not expect it.
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, pleasant surprise. I'm happy we watched this one. If you guys are with us, that's the Critic and the Common Man review of Bloodshot. Good old Vin Diesel movie. Let us know in the comments here what you guys thought. Jump over to Instagram. Give us some love over there. Let us know. Keep the discussion going. Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys for watching. Chris, are we out of here?
Yeah. I've got to go recharge
go.
my nanite, so.
Do it. See you guys.